and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I am making a really vibrant soap using this fragrance from Be Scented. It's called Energy, and it's a type or a dupe. I don't know who carries it, but it smells so good. And let me read the scent description. I have it up here. It says an uplifting blend of citrus, including lemon, lime, grapefruit, a touch of cucumber, pineapple, blackberry, and champagne. Oh my goodness, it is so bright and vibrant, and so it got me thinking about colors that are bright and vibrant. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my canary yellow, check that out, it's like woo, and my tangerine wow from Brambleberry. This one is from Be Scented, this is from Brambleberry. Is that bright? That's Energy colors. And then to mix it up a little, because it has all those different citruses in there, I'm going to add a little bit of my Hollywood pink in there also. So these three, hello, that's going to be so bright. And I really want the colors to represent this scent. It is so vibrant. I'm loving it. So I will be doing a coconut milk soap. It just kind of sounded fresh to me. So that's what we're going to do. I will do milk and oil method like I do. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do on the top. I might do some piping. I'm still thinking about it. As I pull all my ingredients out and get everything ready to go, I'll formulate it in my head and you'll see what we come up with. So let me get everything ready and let's come back and make some Energy soap. All right, we're back and it's soap additives time, but I wanted to show you, look what I found on my shelf. This was hiding in the back of my mica shelf, so I am going to be incorporating this bright green to go along with all those other bright neon colors to represent our energy. I saw that green and I'm like, oh, I've got to throw it in there. It's so cute. So let's do what do we got here? Oh, colloidal oats. Sometimes I can't tell which bucket I'm dealing in. This is colloidal oats. 2 tablespoons of colloidal oats are going in, and 2 tablespoons of kale and clay. And then we're going to go ahead and get our coconut milk in oil method here. So this is the coconut milk. This is the oil. That's how we do it. That's how I do it. Again, there's several different ways to add milk to your soaps. This has been my favorite way so far that I do this often. Let me get this all blended up and then we'll get the lye over and get to splitting off in those awesome vibrant colors. And it's time to make soap. I've got my lye solution over here, which has cane sugar, tussa silk fibers, and sodium lactate in there. I have my colors dispersed off to the side, and I have my piping tips all ready. So what I've decided, and we'll get to that when we do the piping, I'm going to do a star tip to do rosettes, and I have a little leaf tip to do leaves around the rosettes, and I'm going to show you how I do multiple colors in one piping bag. I use my press and seal wrapping, and I'll show you when we get there to the piping. But because of that, I've been asked a lot if I have a special frosting recipe, and I don't. I do, but I don't use it normally. What am I trying to say? I used to make a separate batch for piping on top, but what I do is I just made a little bit extra large batch here, and I will pull off of this after I get the colors, and that's going to be my piping. You don't need a special soap for piping. You can just use your regular soap batter and just let it come up to a nice thick trace when it gets kind of like cake frosting, and then it's time to pipe. So that's what I'm doing today. So let's get on moving forward. All right, and I did make this lye solution yesterday. I pre-made a bunch of oils and lye. So I'm going to strain it through here in case it has a little lye lint in there. I just don't want any chunkage getting in my soap. That's not pleasant. So we'll strain it in here. I'm going to hand stir this to emulsion because I already have the fragrance in here, and I have so many colors to deal with. I have 4 different colors. You can see the lye lint in the bottom of the pan there, or the bucket. So there we go. Set this off to the side. Anyway, I'm going to hand stir this because the fragrance is in there. I haven't worked with it before, but it got great reviews. But I just want to proceed with caution because of all those colors, and I want to get a really beautiful swirl, and I don't want things going sideways on me if I can prevent that. So just getting up to emulsion here. And I am going to put some titanium dioxide in the unmica'd portion just to keep it nice and bright because I really want these colors to pop today. So this is how I do a multiple color in a one piping bag. I use press and seal. This just works the best for me for doing this method. If you have another method, like I have seen some people put their different colors in Ziploc bags and then put them all in the piping bag and snip the tip. So there's multiple ways to do it. This is how I do it. So I take my press and seal. Sorry, it's really loud. And make sure you get enough out there to work with. And tear it off. And then I put the sticky side up because we're going to pinch these sides together. And what I'm going to do is, as soon as my batter is up to piping consistency, I'm going to layer it and roll this up. You'll see when we get there, but this is how I just lay this out and fill it up with frosting and then put it in the piping bag. Okay, the piping is still a little loose for piping, but it's thick enough where I can get it down in here. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And let me just say, this is a very slow moving fragrance because it has been over half an hour since I made this and just waiting for it to get thick. So we're playing the waiting game, which is, you know, great. It's better than playing the rush game. I'll tell you what, I'd rather go slow than go too fast. So I'm literally just going to line each of these colors up on this wax paper and roll it all up into a little sausage and get it in the piping bag. So I'm going to try and stack these. So I'm not doing the green. I'm doing the other three colors in here for the rosettes, and then the green will be for the leaves. Back to start frosting, and I just want to tell you that it has been over an hour. I made 2 other batches of soap while I'm waiting for this frosting to firm up, but it's time to finally get rolling. It's still a little sloopy, but I'm going to go ahead because, you know, I got other things to do. So let's get to piping. It has actually been 2 days since I made this because it was so liquid when I poured it. I just wanted it to sit a little bit longer. But here it is. I haven't steamed the top or anything, and look at how vibrant. I am just loving these colors, and they really represent the fragrance energy. This makes me smile. It looks energetic. Loving it. I can't wait to get in here and see what we've got going on the inside with that pour. I did kind of a flame pour. I don't know. We'll see when we get in there. So let's get into this. back with the lovely Olga to get in here. Man, this top just makes me so happy. Isn't that vibrant? These colors are just cracking me up. They're so like pow. I love it. Smells great today. And yeah, let me just talk about fragrances and their behaviors in soap. But first, let's look at the pour. Oh, that's cool. So I did a drop swirl where you just drop it. I didn't run a hanger, but because it was so fluid, it kind of made like little flame type licks up. I think it's so cool. Love it. All right, let's keep getting in here. So I have found over the years that fragrances that are very slow to trace, and this indeed was, I had to wait over an hour for the piping to even get close to consistency. That I like to wait a day or two more before I take it out of the mold and cut it, because it is slower to firm up. So this is 2 days later on this. I used to rush it. You can unmold it the next day like I normally do, but it's very fragile and stressful. You don't want to bump it or touch it too hard. So it's just easier to wait another day. Oh, I'm loving this drop swirl. Okay, so let me talk about the frosting. I get asked a lot if I make a special frosting batter, and no, I don't. I just pulled off, I made an extra large batch, and I pulled off some extra and let it sit. I blended it a little longer, and that is my frosting. It's the same exact base soap. Now, you can do a special frosting recipe if I was doing a high top soap or something, but I don't do a lot of high tops. So this is just the base batter to answer that question. Anyway, these are, this will bring a smile to your day. If you know somebody who needs a pick-me-up, the scent and the colors and, oh man, make you happy, make you smile. I am loving it. All right, let's keep cutting. All right, we're back with the next loaf. Oh, happy, happy. This fragrance sort of reminds me of a more sharper love spell type. It's got the fruit notes and some other, it just, oh man, it's good. I love it. So let's talk more about, unmolding and stamping and all that. So this, even though it's been a couple days, I'm going to let this sit for another couple days before I come in and bevel and stamp. There's no rush to all that. I know some people that don't bevel and stamp their soap until it's fully cured and they're getting ready to wrap it. So that's okay too. I've said before, each soap batch kind of has its own personality and behavior, and you'll come up with ways that you like to handle your soaps. So normally I can bevel and stamp the same day I unmold, which is 24 hours after I make it. But every once in a while, there's a soap that you have to wait on. I know some people that don't unmold their soap, just they make it and let it sit for days before they even get to it. And that's totally fine also. So no hard and fast rule other than, waiting the first 24 hours. But other than that, it's your recipe, it's what you prefer, things like that. And sometimes I think waiting an extra day or two makes it firmer so it's not as fragile. I know sometimes, like if I grab my soap bars too quick, I can nick it with a fingernail. So these, if you wait a little bit longer, they're not as fragile, and that's always nice. So super happy. Let's get to that last loaf. Okay, last loaf. Gonna get this cut, and like I said, I'm gonna let these sit for a few more days before I come back to bevel and stamp. Oh, my studio smells good. I wish y'all could just come through and take a whiff. This one was a really, really fun batch to make. And I want to thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to watch the video and join me. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss anything going on. And all the good stuff that goes into making soap. I have so much fun down here. And I just really appreciate all of you guys coming along with me. So I hope that you have a really wonderful day.